Hello, good evening and welcome Race Club fans to round 8 of season 7 of Race Club UK's latest championship. And we are just at the end of qualifying, waiting for everyone to bank their qualifying laps, and we've got a bit of a shake up here because we've got the silver on pole. The usual occupant of that is Donardi, and people like the well-known runners like Banana Man, who is just heading down the Conrod Straight at the moment. He's still outside of putting a qualifying time in. He is right down the bottom of the pack. He is 17th. This is his one and only chance to put a lap in. And look at that, Mr. Johnny Waffle has just popped into second place. He's knocked Donardi off the first row. So that's a bit of a shock. Donardi and Chicken Pacto, teammates, are on the second row. But can Banana Man do anything at the moment? He is heading towards the finishing line, and the answer is not anything significant. He's on the outside of row 3. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find anybody. Oh, Chris V Dub is still putting a lap. No, he isn't. Now DB Kung, he's another one that we expect to be up in the pack. He, in his Mercedes, is sat in the pits. So we've got a bit of an upside down grid this time. And THG Waterskin in the Aston Martin. He was a driver who joined us in the commentary box last time, and he is down there in 16th. So, excuse me as I finish my apple. I need my 5 a day. We'll mention that tonight's racing is sponsored by Thatcher's Cider, because I've had a considerable amount of it this afternoon and really don't know where this qualifying is going to go tonight. So it could be lively, it could be really boring, but the only way you're going to find out, you've got to stick with us. Oh, there we go, I'm hearing myself back. That is really painful. So let me just do those important things that I need to do, which is share it around the internet to annoy as many people as I possibly can. Where shall we share this to? Hang on, let's have a look. Group. Bear with me a second out there. This is round 8, isn't it? Yeah. Of race. Season. What season is it? Season 7. Near enough. Comes live. Is it live? Yeah, it's live. Am I live? Hang on. I'm going to check for a pulse. Yep, I'm live. From, where are we? Bathurst? Yeah, there we go. Hopefully Dan, the tech guy alongside me, will be along to us shortly. But at the moment, I'm not sure where he is. Slightly lost on his way to the commentary box. I'll finish my apple. I'm now. Oh, I've just found my cup of tea. That's all right. So, now let me just do a bit of copy and paste here.
30 seconds.
So, where else should we post this? Oh, let's try that one. Hang on. Problem is, you post this stuff all around the world, hoping you're going to get lots of coverage on it. And then people sort of approve your post about 2 days later, so it doesn't really work. But, you know, we're here, we're going to give it a go. Let's try it after. Oh, hang on, I think we can try that one. That'll do. Right, well, anybody watching us tonight on YouTube, if you don't comment, what actually happens is your computer will explode and there will be lots of viruses in oh hello, who's that? Number 40. or 140, that's Groot. Groot seems to have missed the point. The important bit is the grey strip between the two green bits on the side. Now, I know I'm considered a bit of a left field thinker for this, but that does seem the important thing to go for. So let's have a quick look down your grid. Wow, got a little bit of a change around to normal, I would say. We got De Silva, 55. Now, we know from previous rounds he is a really quick driver. Doesn't always qualify the best, but he does seem to have got his eye in tonight because he is on pole position. So in second place we have got Mr. Johnny Waffle in the Bentley. Now the Bentley is a car which people have generally at the start of this season 7 avoided, but later in the season they've all turned up. Mr. Johnny Waffle, Alex Powell, they have all turned up, and Sonny's decided, and Balding Winner, a new driver for us tonight, all decided the Bentley is the way to go. So we go to row 2. Now, regular contenders, Donardi, F1, and Chicken Paxo, the two McLaren boys side by side. And we know they've been real wheel-to-wheel action all season, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. And then, our representative from the Emerald Isle, Ricardo O'Hall. He's there, fronting up row 3, alongside one of our usual front runners, Banana Man. So, Yorkshire Mika, in around about his usual, and I'm not saying this respectively, in that Bentley there, Yorkshire Mika, he's there in 7th. That's normally where we expect him to be. And alongside him is Marge. And I've got a lot of time for Marge, only because he's a great fan of my YouTube channel that I do separately to this. So, Marge is always going to get good screen time from me. And there, down in 9th, in the Porsche, in golf colours, the man that everyone admires, it's Chris V Dub. And it turns out, he's from Wales. But not only that, he uses a joypad controller to drive, and he keeps up with these guys. And when we were at Carl Army, he was on the podium. Absolutely incredible stuff. And then, in 10th place, Rusty GT in the Mercedes. Driver that sometimes punches up near the front, sometimes doesn't quite get it right, but he's always one you can expect to pull the trigger and do something exciting. Now, Alex Powell, there in the Bentley. I'm quite surprised where he is, because he's normally up the front. I expect him in the top 6, so watch for him to come through. Mike 65. Now, when the cameraman catches up, he's over on the right there. There you go. Well done, cameraman. He's in the Porsche there, and he is the teammate of Waterskin, who's down in 16th. Who was Jose, who was with us in the commentary box last time. So Mike was fighting up there in front, had a few issues, but he's still a quick driver. And with Groot in the Audi, he's there in 13th, and he's another driver that we expect to see a little bit further up the midfield. And Randy Flangepants, he's been working on his braking system on his rig all week, I understand. He's on about version 321, but whether he's got it working tonight or not, I don't know. And then we got DB. Come on, you stupid system. DB Kung there in the blue Mercedes. He's down there 15th. Quick drive, expect him to be further up. Waterskin, that's Jose in the Aston Martin. Again, I think he'll be fighting up a bit further forward. And then Balding Wingnut, new driver to the series, but he's there in the Bentley. He's 17th. So let's hop back up the front and look to see the action as they come round the final corner of what is this is a predominantly road circuit at Bathurst, well known for the Bathurst 1000, and we are expecting a green light any second now.
Green light, give us all you can.
And we have got it, and De Silva looks like he's got a good run down the inside. But who's that coming down? I think that's Chicken Paxo coming down the inside with the McLaren. So they all seem to have got fairly tidily round held corner. Sorry, I do apologise. My corner calling is absolutely appalling tonight. They're heading up round about Mountain Straight and into Griffins. Now this is coming into the more technical part of the circuit, and as you can see, bottom right hand corner, you can tell where all the drivers are, and they are all looking remarkably tight at the moment. Nobody's dropped behind, so we're just waiting for the totem pole on the left to sort its life out, and it has. So Chicken Paxo, as I thought, got a really good start there. Both Chicken Paxo and Donardi got by Johnny Waffle. Banana Man 3000, he got by Ricardo O'Hall. He's up to 5th, so it's all a bit tight at the front, but we're getting through the really technical section here as they dive over the top of Skyline and then start hurtling their way back down the hill to the other side. And ultimately the last left-hander, Forest Elbow, is the one that will decide their performance out onto the Conrod Straight, which is infamous for knocking out Conrods, funny enough. Now, you would never have thought that, would you? Let's have a look further down the order. Nothing really splitting out too far. Looks like Alex Powell is leading the second pack. Now, just to remind you, we have got 3 20-minute races. Oh, hello. Just looking at a bit of action there. When the cameraman catches up now, you need to go left, cameraman. There we go. Banana Man going up the inside there of, I think, Chicken Paxo, which was quite a surprise there. So it doesn't look like Chicken Paxo has the pace here tonight, and Chicken Paxo actually coming up a little bit of pressure behind there, I think. Oh no, maybe they're spread out a little bit. I thought Ricardo Hall was actually coming up to give him a bit of pressure. Now, I think the battle we might have is up the front, because we've got the Silver. Oh, hello, a little bit of a battle further down. Where was that? Rusty GT, I think. And our only Nissan Skyline runner, Ricardo Hall. Looks like our spectator system's having a bit of a crisis there. Oh, they're all going in a little bit tight here. Ricardo Hall goes in the wall. Oh, and it's and that looked like Chris V Dub got it all a bit sideways. Looks like they're trying to recover there. Where is Chris V Dub? Oh, he's got going again, but he has dropped an awful lot of places. That looked like he was down around about 12, yes. So that was quite painful there for Chris V Dub. Was in quite good position. Now, it all looks like it's getting a little bit tight further up. So, Ricardo Hall, he has got clear of Rusty GT at the moment. I'm just trying to see who is looking close to each other at the moment. There was a good run here from Ricardo Hall backwards, because they are all very, very tight. Balding Wingnut has got himself up from 17th up to 16th. So I think the only one that's likely to meet to come under significant pressure, when our good friend the cameraman wakes up. Right! Cameraman, right. I was going to say it was De Silva, but De Silva's actually fallen back into the... sorry, Donardi has actually fallen back into the clutches of Mr. Johnny Waffle. So we've got a few comments coming in on good old YouTube, so let's see what people have got to say. When hopefully I don't look away and see anything that's... oh! Mr. Dave Cannon says, even though one of our regular watchers. So glad he's on board. Anybody else want to drop a comment in? We're always welcome to hear from you. Just to remind you, we've got 3 20-minute races for you tonight, so don't worry if your favourite driver puts it in the wall in the first race. He's got another 2 chances to put it in the wall later. Excuse me while I sup a cup of tea, as I need to do everything I can to absorb the fat-like amount of Thatcher's Gold I had earlier. I would like to clarify that this channel is not sponsored by Thatcher's Gold. However, we are very receptive to their phone calls if they wish to contact us. So, is there anybody like to overtake anybody? Let's have a look. Group is looking quite racy with Alex Powell, and actually Chris V Dub, after that bit of an incident earlier, he looks like he is looking quite racy at the moment, trying to get past Group. So I'm going to take the brave pill, which is to hop on board with Chris V Dub, because anyone who follows us regularly will know this usually ends in tears. Jeremy for the joy we hop on board with. So we're on board with Chris V Dub, and in front of us is Group. We're heading down through the S's. Watch the ground drop away below us, and then we go through this quick left right to Forest Elbow. There we go, really hard on the brakes. Now, exit of this. Oh, and we just got a little bit of a nudge there from Marge. Marge is absolutely fine to do that because he follows my other YouTube channel. So as we head down Conrod Straight, unfortunately lost the slipstream from the car in front. Looks behind like Marge is catching us. The speed is closing. Can he do anything? But on board with Chris Dub, we are sitting right in the middle of the track, trying to keep it as close as possible. We run a bit deep there though. Can we keep it going? And in the background it looks like our good friend Chris Marge has unfortunately spun. So let's have a quick look back. And yeah, Marge is dropping back down the order. So I'm going to hop back up the front. We are nearly 7 minutes into this 20-minute race. And up the front here, we've got De Silva in that, funny enough, silver McLaren being chased by Donardi in the black McLaren. Just half a second between them. Does look very tight up the front, but also looks very tight going back between Banana Man and Chicken Paxo. And again, Chicken Paxo this week doesn't seem on the pace. He was somebody we would normally expect to see to be a podium level driver. And currently he's down in 5th. And it looks like Banana Man is not really coming under an awful lot of pressure from him. So let's whiz back. Who else we got? We got Rusty GT, who is just half a second behind Richard O'Hall. Oh, unfortunately Marge has gone to the pits. And who's that in the wall a little bit further back? Trying to see. Looks like 22. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, looks like Waterskin has had a little bit of an incident with the concrete wall there, but he is getting going again. Doesn't look like he's at full pace, but hopefully he will keep in there. He's ahead of Marge at the moment. So let's go back to Donardi. He is just 0.181 of a second behind De Silva. Now he is looking quite racy. De Silva's looking very defensive as they head into Murray's. So, and this is bringing Mr. Johnny Waffle, who's a relatively new driver to us at Race Club, into play as well, because De Silva and Donardi fighting at the front is slowing them up, and Johnny Waffle is coming into it, and not far behind is Banana Man, and he's dropping Chicken Paxo behind him. So this three-way battle for the front, I think, is suddenly going to turn into a four-way battle. I think the problem with this circuit is it's down to really that run down to Conrod Straight. So where we're going to see the action, I think, is where Donardi will follow De Silva over the top of the mountain here. And just remind you, this is normally a public road. There is residential properties, vineyards and so on over the top here. So this road is only shut for race days. So I'm going to show you a little bit of that, because what we're going to do is go to our helicopter shot as they work their way back down. What you can't see on this angle is how much this drops away as they whiz down towards Forest Elbow. This is one of the most critical corners on this circuit. Now Donardi will be trying, and he has done really well at that, to get right under the rear wing of that McLaren in front of him. And as they head down Conrod Straight, look at that, right under the rear wing of De Silva. Can he do anything about it? De Silva's going defensive because the next kink is a right-hander, but after that it's a left-hander. So has Donardi played the wise card here? They are absolutely side by side. No, they're not. De Silva's got in front and hung onto it. Absolutely great driving there, but he's gone deep. He's gone across the grass, De Silva. He's lost traction, and Donardi's through into the lead. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And just behind is Mr. Johnny Waffle. He's waiting for an opportunity to strike, but what a great move there by Donardi. Just bided his time and forced De Silva into a mistake. So absolutely brilliant stuff there. So we will just get our best angle and whiz back. So Donardi in the lead, De Silva second, Johnny Waffle in third. Banana Man there, he's in fourth. seems to be fending off Chicken Paxo there in the green McLaren in 5th. So let's see who else is having a little bit of action. Now, it looks like Group. We are down to 9 minutes of this first race remaining already. And look at the background there. Chris V Dub had that little incident earlier. He's back up to 8th, but DB Kung right behind him is going side by side as they head up towards Griffin. And it looks like DB Kung's a little bit in front, and he is, as they swoop into Griffin's on the right-hander. And DB Kung used all the track and a bit more there, but he's got the move done. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. So that's DB Kung up to 8th and Chris V Dub down to 9th. Now, Yorkshire Mika, he started 7th. He unfortunately is down there in 10th in the orange Bentley at the moment. A little bit clear of Alex Powell. Now, Alex Powell, one of our drivers who was very much up the front before, he's there in 11th, which is below where I would expect him to be. So further down, there doesn't seem to be. Oh, there. It looks like Alex Powell. I do believe that is a bit of an issue there. I do believe the stewards will have an issue with him taking off and trying to fly into the into the spectator area there, because I do believe that's outside of the rule. No, he's back. Absolutely fantastic driving there by Alex Powell. Despite being stuck in midair, he's actually regained control and he's now heading down the Conrod Straight. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Now, going on about fantastic stuff, look at this. Chicken Paxo has not given up. He's had a stuffing from Banana Man, but he's decided to come back and have another go. So just 0.28 of a second at the last gap between them. Is now 0.4, but Chicken Paxo is right in the slipstream of Banana Man 3000 there, and it looks to me like Banana Man might have a little bit of damage at the front there. And coming up to get him is Ricardo Hall. He's not that far behind, so 7 minutes remaining, just over 2 minute laps, so I imagine that's about 4 laps remaining. So Rusty GT has come out and rejoined. Oh, and Banana Man made a bit of a mistake there at Murray's, and he ran a bit wide, and Chicken Paxo's through. So Chicken Paxo back up to 4th and Banana Man down to 5th. Now, I imagine the next one that is going to have a little bit of a go at Banana Man is probably going to be Ricardo Hall. So I'm just going to check what's happened to my co-commentator tonight. I'm hoping he's about, but at the moment he isn't. So we won't worry about it, we'll just blunder on because we're good at that kind of thing. So it does look like it is settling down a little bit at the front. The one possible battle here that is livening up is Groot here, who is just 0.7 of a second behind DB Kung. The Chris V Dub is right behind Groot as well, so this is a little bit of a freeway battle here. This is for 7th, 8th and 9th, so just the time clocking down to 5.5 minutes to go. So at the end of this lap, I believe there will be 3 more to go. Just trying to see if we've got anything else bubbling up at the moment. Not particularly. Oh, I will whiz back to Ricardo Hall and Banana Man. Banana Man there in the green Mercedes. Ricardo Hall in the Nissan behind. As they head up towards Griffin's. Oh, look at that, Ricardo Hall trying to go the long way round at Griffin's. Can he make it stick? It's a brave move if he can. No, he has to slot in back behind Banana Man. Nice try, but it was a little bit ambitious. I think up through the cutting, it's going to be brave to try and do anything through here. The next obvious move for Ricardo Hall is going to be down Conrod Straight. So as we head up towards the top at Skyline, very tricky couple of corners here. They're not quite flat out, very close, but those walls are there. They're going to go and really have you if you're not careful. So here we go, over the top. Look at the fantastic views into the distance. Here we drop down through the S's, and in this particular corner, look at this. Whoa, and we drop away. So back on the throttle, here through the left, the right, and then jam on the brakes for Forest Elbow. Trying to get a cleaner exit as possible from this corner, because this will control your speed the whole way down this Conrod straight. And we are getting closer, we're getting closer. Look at this, we've got a good run, we're right in the slipstream of there. And Banana Man goes to the left. We've got the quicker run in, and we're already in front. We must have got a fantastic exit from Forest Elbow in that skyline. And through the chase we go, and we are up. So that is Ricardo Hall up to 4th, and Chicken Paxo down to 5th. So fantastic stuff there. So where have we got anything else bubbling up? Well, possibly we're just 3 minutes and 2 laps to go. Johnny Waffle is looking quite racy behind De Silva. So De Silva started this on pole and gradually got wound in by Donardi, who's now put 4.5 seconds on him. Johnny Waffle is the next one along to try and take a bit of silverware off De Silva. God, I couldn't have made that up if I tried, could I? What's the old phrase? I was a poet and didn't know it. So looking down the totem pole on the left, it doesn't look like anyone else is particularly going to make any changes. It looks like Alex Powell's had to dive to the pits. I would assume that was for damage. So he's currently there 15th, but looks like Rusty GT should probably overtake him. Depends when Alex Powell gets going again. But Johnny Waffle is the one that has got something in his clutches to change. So relatively new driver to us at Race Club here. So still under 1 second to De Silva. And interesting in the background there, Chicken Paxo still not being dropped by these two. So let's see as we come through the next split, where Johnny Waffle is. He was 0.898 of a second. It's now just over a second, so it looks like he just can't quite get close enough to De Silva there. And actually, if he looks in his rear view mirror, we've got Chicken Paxo still looking for that last step of the podium to make it a McLaren lockout. But Johnny Waffle has just one lap to go to hang on to that final podium position. And we've just been warned the leader is on the final lap, and looks like Chicken Paxo hasn't quite given up the fight for the podium there. Looking quite racy in the podiums in the McLaren there. Oh, and looks like Johnny Waffle a little bit wide there. So as they head up towards Griffin's, it looks like Chicken Paxo just having a look on the outside there, forcing Johnny Waffle across to the right, so compromising his line into the next right-hander of Griffin's. And he's got through. Chicken Paxo takes third position. Fantastic stuff there. Fantastic exit from Hell Corner, and he got the move done. So just when we thought Johnny Waffle was going to be looking for second, he's actually been knocked down to 4th. So let's have a quick look down. We've actually got a little bit of a battle further down. Just crossing the line, we've got Randy Flanchpants catching up with Mike 65. So this is a battle that could go to the line. I'm looking down further, I can't see anything else that's particularly developing. So let's see what they go through at the first timing split. Oh, and it looks like Randy's having to go down the inside here. It looks like Mike's gone a bit deep. He's clipped the wall. So can Randy take advantage of this? They're still side by side as they go up through the cutting. And Randy clips the wall there again. And he's gone a bit deep, but he's got away with it. And so as they head up towards Skyline, Randy Flanchpants is up to 11th, and Mike has dropped down to 12th. So fantastic battle there all the way down the order, and the time has run out. So I am going to hop up with our leader. Now Donardi, he qualified second. No, I think he qualified third, I think. Oh, and he's just catching up with Waterskin. I think Waterskin will let him by. So Waterskin finishes there in 14th and Donardi in first. So Donardi worked up in the second row to take the win, and then De Silva in second. Chicken Paxo took that third place off Mr. Johnny Waffle on the last lap. Fantastic stuff there. Ricardo O'Hall did a great job there in the Nissan, one of the more unfancy cars in this series. Now, interestingly, Banana Man, who was up there earlier on, looking at the damage on the front there with the bonnet on his Mercedes, has had a problem there. So DB Kung actually comes through in 6th, Banana Man there in the green Mercedes 7th, and Groot comes through in 8th. Crispy Dub, the man with the golden hands, he comes through in 9th. Yorkshire Micker in the Bentley in 10th. Mike 65 even, comes through the final corner there, and he has come through in 11th. Randy Flangepants. Oh, these two must have had a battle, because I think Randy had got by, but Mike got him back. And Balding Wingnut, who actually started on the back of the grid, he's just coming through the chase there. Got his way up to 13th. So I know a few other drivers pitted, but doesn't matter, you've got to be in it to win it. So Balding Wingnut, new driver with us with Race Club, he's coming up to complete his race. And I think that will be it for finishers across the line, because Waterskin's already crossed the line, so is Rusty GT, they were lapped. Alex Powell, Marge and Vortex were, I believe, in the pit, so I think they have already completed their race. I don't think they are. Oh, they may be circulating. Let's have a look. Where's Vortex? Let's have a look. No, they must all be in the pit. So there's your rundown of race 1. Donardi from the second row of the grid takes the win. De Silva second, Chicken Paxo third, Johnny Waffle fourth, Ricardo Hall fifth, DB Kun sixth. Banana Man had a few issues there, trundled his way down to 7th. Groot in 8th, Chris V Dub 9th, and Yorkshire Mick in 10th. So just bear with me while we have a little bit of a quiet patch, and we will be back with you for the end of qualifying for race 2 and also for the live commentary of race 2.
Also so it's a lot to dissect, but I think we're going to see very similar strategies to what's happened here. When you look at your driver time, you're not allowed to do more than 4 hours and 40 minutes. Managing his driver time, particularly in very hot conditions, is going to be key to winning the Liquid Molly Bathurst 12-hour heat today.
Brilliant scenes on the grid as it's gradually beginning to be cleared. If I look out over Harris Park, there are still people coming in this morning at 20 minutes before 6 o'clock. We'll have this extraordinary opening to the race. Your darkness practice, remember. So if you're a rookie here and you'll start the race, you've never seen this track in the dark before. Also, if you're coming to us on the international feed for the first time, the 12 hours starts when the Mercedes E63 safety car rules over the race because of the darkness. It makes perfect sense, really. I won't ask you to predict the race results, guys, but what we're going to say present.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's $1 million question, almost quite literally multi-million when you take into account the value of this field. I'm not sure. There's lots of predictions for a fast race. The quality at the pointy end of this grid is the best we've ever seen. Qualifying one yesterday, we had 18 cars covered by a second. It was so fiercely competitive. This place will play a role as well. Race control, right in the middle screen, is James Taylor. He's the race director for this race.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Mandate this weekend, it's RPM. Respect, patience, and moment. As in one moment, change your entire day. So he's been beating that into the drivers over the course of the weekend. It must be said on Friday, varying levels of success, and they've got better and better over the course of the weekend.
Johnny, the guys were standing on the bridge beyond Ice Breakout Corner there.
Well, and we're back for qualifying of race 2 of this free race night we have here at Race Club UK. And just to quickly mention, we are sponsored by the fantastic guys at Lovely Stickers, who can do decals for you, for your steering wheel, for your seat, for your pedals, I don't know, probably for your bedroom if you really wanted. You'll find them on Facebook. It's really technical. You search Lovely Stickers and they'll come up. And that would be really appreciated, as they provide the prizes for our drivers for this season 7 championship. And also, just to remind you, we have got one more race to go. We're at Laguna Seca next week for our season finale, which is a 2-hour endurance, and then we take a step up. We are going PS5, and you need to get in early if you want to register for this next season, because everyone is kicking our door down to be part of it. So if you want to get involved, get onto Race Club UK on Facebook and show your interest and get your name down. Otherwise you are going to miss out on that particular party. So let us have a look at qualifying on race 2. We've got 40 seconds to go, and our race 1 winner is there in pole at the moment. De Silva is out on the circuit as well, but he is 0.366 of a second behind. He is up over, heading towards Skyline at the moment. Oh, and he's been knocked back by Johnny Waffle just by 0.066 of a second. That is nothing. And then Donardi himself has actually gone a little bit quicker and put half a second breathing space between him and Mr. Johnny Waffle. And before we know it, Chicken Paxo is in. He has gone second place, so he's pushed Johnny Waffle back. So it's like a machine gun here at the finishing line at the moment. So De Silva's called it a day. He's gone to the pit, so he's got no chance of improving. So who else is down there that we are looking to actually put a quick lap in? Ricardo Hall. He's just going down towards Forest Elbow, but he has got a driver in front of him. I'm not sure who that is. He's one of the Bentleys. I think that might be Yorkshire Micker, but he sweeps underneath him. So this is Ricardo Hall's only chance to put a lap time in. He's blasting down Conrad Straight. So can he get himself a little bit further up the grid this time? Alex Powell, who was really out of place last time, he's got himself in 8th, but Banana Man 3000, he's down in 7th at the moment. So, and he's in the pit, so he's not going to improve. So this is really not turning out to be one of his tracks, because Banana Man we usually expect to see up in the top 3 or 4, and he really does seem to be struggling at the moment. So Ricardo Hall comes down to Murray's, the final corner on this Bathurst Mount Panorama circuit. Can he do anything to bring himself up the order? And as he crosses the line, no, he can't. He must have gone outside the track limits at some point. Ricardo Hall's going to have an awful lot of work to do there for this first race. So let's have a look at the guys who are putting in their last qualifying laps. Now they've taken a little bit of life out of these tyres, and they are still giving it a go. So Chicken Paxo is heading down towards the final corner of Murray's. Can he do anything to about Donardi's pole position? Around the final corner there, and he does. Pole position there for Chicken Paxo. Absolutely fantastic stuff. He pulled that one right out at the last minute. DB Kung fires through. He's into 3rd there. Johnny Waffle gets knocked down to 4th. Marge comes in there at 5th. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Rusty GT in 6th. De Silva, our pole sitter from race 1, he is down in 7th place. So we have got a real topsy-turvy grid for this second race. So absolutely fantastic stuff. This is what we like at Race Club. A little bit of a turn up for the books. Vortex there, he's struggling a bit. He's down there in 18th. I'd normally expect to see him a little bit further up. Ricardo Hall, he's very much out of position down there in 15th. Yorkshire Micker, I think he was 7th in the first race. He's down there in 13th. So really topsy-turvy grid. Now these are only 20-minute races, so around this Bathurst Mount Panorama track, that is merely 10 laps at best. So they are going to have to be a little bit careful, because you muck it up on the first corner and you are going to pay the price. So I see we've got a few comments coming in on our YouTube channel, and if I can actually get myself into my own phone, I will see what people are saying. Hey, there we go. Ain't technology great when you've got somebody that actually knows what they're doing? Dear God, I do hate hearing my own voice back. There we go. Hugo Vicente, enjoy the race, boys. Yeah, Vicente, you're not with us this night. Bazix, he's Banana Man. He's not with us tonight. Oh, well, he is with us tonight, but he is not just a spectating. He's out there racing. So, qualifying 2, just to remind you, this is race 2 of 3. So we've got 3 20-minute races for you tonight. This is round 8 of 9 of the season 7 of Race Club UK's latest championship. We're currently on PS4, and next season we are taking the leap to PS5. So if you want to get your name down for that, you can already see we've got 17 of 18 driver slots filled tonight. So if you want to be part of that championship, you need to get your name down soon. So get onto Race Club UK on Facebook and get yourself involved, because as you can see, we've got full grids, we've got a little bit of a span of driver speeds, which is good because it gives everybody a chance to get involved, and that's what we're about on Race Club. It's just getting everybody to come out, have a little bit of fun, enjoy themselves. Don't necessarily need to win, you just need to find somebody you can race with. So I think people that will be finding themselves to race with will be Chicken Paxo and Donardi there at the front, because I think that is going to be quite a competitive first corner, because both of those guys are going to be the one that's in front when they go into that first corner. Oh, we've got Tom Hacker who's joined us, one of our regular viewers. He is saying good evening all, and up the Thatchers. Ben Golden wants us to talk me through the Thatchers. Now, you know, we can talk as friends, can't we? You know, when you go out for one of those little quiet meet-ups with friends, it's going to be a quiet pint or two. It's just, you know, you're chewing the fat and catching up with friends. And there's that moment where, between friends, the seesaw tips, doesn't it? And it goes from being just a little friendly backslapping camaraderie to an all-in drinking session. And what we weren't expecting was that we bumped into some other people, and it's a long story and I won't bore you with it, but because of the positive vibes that our group were emitting, somebody else decided to buy us drinks, and I know that was the point where the weight went over the fulcrum and the seesaw tipped, and before we knew it, we were sliding down the other side to oblivion. And we've all been there. It's not big and it's not clever, but hey, that's where I am. So I feel like maybe tonight I'm running probably about sort of 50% overspeed, and I'm consuming cups of tea like it's going out of fashion here. Unfortunately, due to the fact I don't have a PS5, I won't be commentating next season. So someone suggested I need to go out of this season with a bang. Unfortunately, I nearly left the G off the end and said I'll be leaving it with a ban because I said something horribly inappropriate. But we seem to have survived so far, so let's hope it continues for the next couple of races. So anyway, we're just following these drivers as they're working their way up to the top of this circuit, which is known as Skyline, which is not the most inventive name, but then our Australian friends were mostly people that we sent there because they were guilty of something, so we can't expect them to be too inventive, can we? But for the times this is not being used for race purposes. This is actually a residential road, and the incredible thing, between the bottom and the top where they've just gone by at Skyline is 174 metre difference in height. So when it talks about Mount Panorama, it really is a mountain. The steepest part of this circuit, 1 in 6, which I believe is that bit as you come out of the cutting going up. So it is quite a challenging circuit. And to give you a bit of geographic orientation, we're about 125 miles west of Sydney. And of course this circuit is best known for the famous race, the Bathurst 1000, which has been generally over the years a V8 engined car championship race. Has in the past been touring cars, especially with the peak of touring cars in the late 90s. But predominantly it's those thundering V8s, which are fantastic vehicles, which we've had the occasional sniff over here in the UK with things like the Vauxhall Monaro. But of course, when General Motors disappeared up its own arse and ran out of money, those cars unfortunately disappeared for us. So I think brands like Holden disappeared, and Vauxhall in the UK was flogged off to the French. So that was effectively the end of that, really, wasn't it? So goodbye British car industry. But hey, we shouldn't complain, but we will. So here we go, rolling down to the final corner. Come on, you thought Gary Lineker was radical, and I'm moaning on about the motor industry. So down to the final corner, which is Murray's. We've got Chicken Paxo there in the green McLaren, alongside him his teammate Donardi in the other McLaren, the black and blue car. Behind him, DB Kung in the Mercedes on the right as you look at them, and Mr. Johnny Waffle, he's there in 4th. Marge punching a little bit above his weight there in 5th, and Rusty GT in 6th. So we're waiting for the green light, and we're off. Here we go, and Chicken Paxo's got a fantastic start down to the first corner. DB Kung's trying to go up the inside of Donardi, and he's pulled it off. They are going side by side up the mountain straight. Who's going to pull this one off? It looks like DB Kung is just easing his way in front of Donardi, and he has. So that is DB Kung up to 2nd, Donardi down to 3rd. Mr. Johnny Waffle is working his way there in 4th place. It looks like there's a little bit of action happening further back. We're just going to move so we can move around the drivers a little bit. So it does look like everybody apart from Randy Flanchpants has got away there at the start. Don't quite know what happened to Randy. Unfortunately, he's a little bit further down the order. Just waiting for the totem pole to sort itself out. Well, effectively now it has, because Randy Flanchpants is a bit late to the party, I'm afraid. So we've got DB Kung with our race 1 winner right behind him in 3rd place, and it looks like Donardi doesn't want to give that up anytime soon. So I'm going to take a little bit of a brave pill, and I'm going to hop on board with DB Kung, and we can look back at Donardi there. We're just heading down towards Forest Elbow. Just checking I've turned the mic on. Yes, I have. Thank God, I thought you'd not be able to hear me. So here we go, whizzing down Conrad Straight. Oh, THG TVL79, I've got no idea who you are, but it says, let's go Mike. Well done. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you'll drop us a few more comments. So here we go, through the absolutely flat out right-hander, and slam on the brakes for the chase. Donardi doesn't look like he can do anything about it at the moment. If we quickly look forward, it looks like Chicken Pack, so he's just making a little bit of an escape there as we head around Murray's. I think Donardi was quite generous there. Oh, and it looks like he's going a little bit less generous as they head up towards Hell Corner. Oh, that was so close, right under the rear wing of that Mercedes. Excuse me. More caffeine required. Right, well, it doesn't look like these two are going to knock each other off soon. So what we will do is do the sensible thing. Oh, was that Donardi? Oh, Donardi spun! Donardi spun. That is really expensive there for Donardi. Let's have a quick look. He's getting himself going. It looks like he's taken out Johnny Wafflers as well. So Johnny Waffle was just behind him there. So very expensive. Oh, the only thankful thing is that was quite a slow corner there as they come up through the cutting. So hopefully none of them have sort of encountered too much damage there. I'm just going to move down a little bit, see who's running close. Banana Man looks a little bit out of position. He's behind Rusty GT at the moment, and just behind them is Marge and De Silva. Again, De Silva, pole sitter from the first race. He's currently down there in 8th, so he is finding himself a little bit out of position there. But these 4 cars all battling there for 5th place. So it looks like in the background there that De Silva is possibly looking a little bit racy on the back of Marge. Let's have a look. And they're going side by side. Marge is on the inside there for that corner, but De Silva swoops around the outside. So can he get it stopped? No, he can't. He's across the grass. As he kept it going, he's kept it going, but it's cost him. And in fact, that's caused Marge to whiz up on the back of Banana Man, who looks like he's had an issue as well. And Marge swoops round there up to 4th place. Fantastic stuff there from Marge. There we go, up into 4th in the Honda there. Generally an unfancy runner in Race Club UK. So we are coming up already to quarter way through this race. And actually in the background there, I can see that Chris V Dub is looking very racy behind Donardi. So Donardi seems to be in all sorts of problems, having had that spin early on. It just reminds you, Chris V Dub incredibly uses a jolly pad rather than a rig, which a lot of the other drivers do. It would be absolutely incredible to see what this guy could do if he was plugged into a rig rather than a joy pad, because I can imagine he could do absolutely stunning stuff. So it looks like Donardi may be carrying some damage, because he doesn't seem to be getting away from Chris here as we head up over the mountain. Look how close those walls are. They give you absolutely no margins for error as we head up. There we go, over the crest of Skyline. Highest point, 174 metres up from the bottom of the track. Oh, and who was that? De Silva having an issue in the front. It looks like it was. So, and that's Donardi and Chris V Dub through. So, who was that? That was possibly Group. Let's have a look when the timing catch up. But here we go, whizzing back down the hill there, hard on the brakes, Forest Elbow. That Chris V Dub's got a little bit deep there, and it looks like Group has taken advantage. He's through, and so is Alex Powell in the bendy, and also coming through is I think that's Yorkshire Mick just gone through as well. So very expensive mistake there from Chris V Dub. In fact, sorry, that's Yorkshire Mick coming through. So Chris V Dub, very expensive mistake there. So he will be ruining that one. So let's have a quick look. Marge. Oh, Marge has had an issue. Marge, who I was just saying was doing so well, he is in the wall there. So unfortunately there, Rusty GT looks like he's carrying a little bit of damage there, but he is in a podium place at the moment. So Banana Man, from not a particularly good starting position, is up to 4th, and possibly with that damage to Rusty GT, it looks like he might be catching. And talking of catching, it looks like Donardi, carrying damage from that earlier incident up through the cutting, is coming under pressure there from Groot. Groot's going side by side. Has he got through? Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? So it looks like Groot has got the move done. So that is Groot up to 5th, and Donardi down to 6th. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like we've lost a driver. We're down to 16 drivers. So, can Donardi hold off Johnny Waffle? Because Johnny Waffle is going to be the next one on the route to try and get his way by Donardi, because it looks like he is definitely carrying I'll press the wrong button. It looks like Donardi definitely is carrying damage. Oh! And talking of carrying damage, that was Banana Man going off there. I think that was possibly Groot as well. So this second race is really turning the order upside down, because Rusty GT now has got a little bit of a gap up there into to 3rd, and Johnny Waffle is there in the very solid 5th now. So very expensive incident there, up just after Skyline for the drivers behind Johnny Waffle there. So let's just go back to our trackside cameras. Who else have we got that's getting a bit lively? No, we're just waiting for the times to update as we cross over. So there is a very tight pack there, as we are seeing it from Johnny Waffle back to Yorkshire Mika. So 4 drivers there, all in close contention. So looking back, oh, Banana Man looking quite right. Oh, and Banana Man gets it horribly wrong there on the entry to the chase. Looks like he's carrying an awful lot of damage there already, and that has just added to it. And look at the rear wing on that Mercedes there. It's got more of an angle than I had in geometry. So let's have a look who else is going to do anything here. Oh, Rusty GT's had to decide to pull into the pit, so that has been expensive for him. He was up there in towards the front end, and Donardi, who had that incident earlier on, he's got his way back up to 3rd. So very expensive cost there for Rusty. Also in the pits is De Silva and Ricardo Hall. So there's been some adventures for drivers in the middle of the field. Maybe in this second race, I just get a little bit too racy, get a bit feisty, and just need to maybe calm it down to get those points in the bank with only one more round in this championship to go. So, just looking down YouTube. No comments on YouTube, so please do your bit for us, see what you can fill out. So, the battle at the moment, I'm just looking backwards and forwards there. Donardi doesn't seem to have completely shaken off Johnny Waffle. Johnny Waffle's only half a second behind.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
We've got just under 10 minutes to go. Well, that's my second cup of tea gone, so I'm vaguely hoping that's starting to absorb some of the Thatcher's cider. But let's have a look. There's nobody else particularly tight further down the track. Ricardo Hall has actually gone back out on the circuit. Slick move because the 3 in front of him are in the pits. So I think the battle we've got, the only one we've got really immediately bubbling, is this one between Donardi and Mr. Johnny Waffle there in the Bentley in 4th place. So I'm going to take a brave bill and hang on board with Johnny Waffle. Let's go for a lap of this Mount Panorama Bathurst circuit. There we go, first corner, Hell Corner. So critical, we've got to get the speed right out of there. So as we go up Mountain Straight, it costs you miles per hour every mistake you make on that first corner. It looks like Donardi's already looking a bit conservative as we head out towards Griffins. Now, this is quite a tricky corner. Entry looks safe as you come out. That wall on the left wants to come out and bite you. Both of them get away with it, and here we go, up through the cutting, hard on the brakes as we're turning left, down to 1st or 2nd gear. And now we start the steep climb, 1 in 6, up this hill, heading towards Skyline. Again, those walls are there. They're going to take a chunk out of your car if you're not careful. So here we go, up to the highest point of the circuit. Fantastic views from this point. Bathurst 1000, this area on the right is real native, shall we say, and the police just let it go on with it. Allegedly, and I heard this is a rumour, whether it's true or not, they only allow you to take 24 beers in per hour. Now, I don't know about you guys at home, but 24 beers in 24 hours, I'd be in a coma. But anyway, that's Australians for you. They all went over on the prison ship, so, you know, they're a good breed. So here we go, down Conrod Straight, absolutely flat out. Here we go, over the crest, and then we're into this absolutely flat out right-handed. Johnny Waffle just seems to be struggling just to keep in touch with Donardi in front. Now we go, on the brakes, all the way down, probably 2nd gear to get around it. Oh, and we're closing up really well. That Bentley's really strong on the brakes. And down to Murray's, Donardi just runs a bit wide there, kicks a bit of dirt up. Final Corner Murrays, and that is a lap of this Mount Panorama Bathurst circuit. So let us go back to our trackside cameras. What else have we got that's going to cause some carnage? At the moment, Groot is looking quite racy on the back of Yorkshire Micker. Yorkshire Micker looking a bit shabby on the exit of Hell Corner there. So now it's a drag race up the Griffins. In the background, that looked like THG Mike was taking a one-way route back to the car park. So that is going to cost him quite a lot. Didn't quite get the turn in Hell Corner there. But Groot is... Oh, I thought Groot got that one done up the inside at Griffins, but he hasn't. So Yorkshire Micker hangs on to it. So I would say at the end of this, we've got about 3 laps remaining. So Hugo Vicente says, time to go back to work, have fun, see you all at Laguna. So look forward to seeing you back, Vicente, and hope you've enjoyed watching us tonight. So just looking further down the order, Ricardo Hall, he's got himself back up to 15th. Oh, and Banana Man, one of our front runners, he is in the pits, so he's out of it in race 2. So just looking down the order, oh, Waterskin, here we go. Waterskin is looking quite racy on the back of Chris V Dub. So can he get anything done? Waterskin didn't have the best first race. Waterskin, of course, is Jose, who joined us in the commentary box last time out. It was a fantastic addition for us, and he's back out this week on the track. He's currently run there in 12th, and Chris V Dub just in front of him in 11th. But it looks like Chris V Dub is getting his way away from him. So let's just check in with our leader with 5 minutes to go. So that means he's got probably 3 laps to go. Chicken Paxo didn't have the greatest first race. Got caught up in the melee a little bit, but this time he's got his elbows out, got to his front early on, and he is running away with this one. 6 seconds back is DB Kuhn. Again, the driver didn't have a fantastic first race, but now has got some clear air and he's doing cracking stuff. As you know, Donardi and Johnny Waffle, they are battling for 3rd and 4th. Alex Powell didn't have the best first race by any chance, but we know he's a quick driver. He currently there is running 5th in the 2nd race. And then we've got Groot and Yorkshire Micker having this battle. Yorkshire Micker in that orange Bentley and Groot just behind him in the black Audi. They've been battling away there, and at the moment Yorkshire Micker has still got the high ground on that one. Now, despite his detour towards the car park, Mike 65 is still there in 8th, but he is coming under a little bit of pressure there by our new driver tonight. We'll just give him a little bit of airtime here, Balding Wingnut. I have to be careful here because that gives me a visual interpretation of what Balding Wingnut looks like, but I really can't go there because I just shouldn't, because it's just going to end in tears, isn't it? But he started a little further down, but he's up there in the top 10. So for your first time out with Race Club, because we know there's some really competitive drivers here, he's up in the top 10, so that's not to be sniffed at all. Randy Flangepants, he's down there in 10th at the moment. He's got quite a bit of clear air front and back, so he should be fairly safe on that one. Chris V Dub, he must have had a little bit in this because I thought he was a little bit further up, so he's dropped back down there to 11th at the moment. Waterskin we just had a look at. Rusty GT, he went in the pits, back out again there. He's running 13th at the moment, and the same goes for Ricardo Hall, so he's running there in 14th. So let's have a look. Let's go back to this battle between Donardi and Johnny Waffle, because this is the closest one we've got on the track at the moment. Oh, I had a message which I didn't see from De Silva. Trevor, please make it end. I hate this track so much. Now, I've got a lot of power as commentator. Generally when I go on to people, they crash. And I didn't think De Silva did that bad last time, but he is in the pits at the moment. So Yorkshire Mick, I think this was the first race, had an accident with DB Kung because he messed up qualifying. So We've had a lot of input in YouTube tonight, so I'd love to hear from a few more of you. See, you know, what do you think? Are you enjoying it? Do you hate the commentator? Do you want him sacked? We don't care. Say what you want. So, just to... Oh, hello. Just as I put my phone down, there's another comment. Buzzick says, top comms. No, sack me. Oh, hello. We got lively action here. We woken up a minute. We've got... Johnny Waffle is really having a go at Donardi. So, I think Donardi picked up a bit of damage earlier. And he is struggling a little bit on performance. So, as we head towards Forest Elbow here, this is Johnny Waffle's opportunity. He needs to just get in the slipstream. He gets his Bentley in the slipstream with that McLaren in front of us. Now, unfortunately, that McLaren, look at that McLaren just pull away. But we are reeling it back in. It's like pulling a fish on a fishing line. We caught ourselves a McLaren, but
Right, man.
we
Either
haven't
he's on the
just got
final
it
lap. Give it all you
quite
can.
right. And Donardi there goes defensive into the left-hander at the chase. And he's just hanging on it now. Can we do anything as we go down the Murray's? Donardi looking quite defensive on the inside. It's a long way around the outside. You're not really going to make it, but you are compromising Donardi's entry. But we seem to have got away with it now. Our next chance is getting a good exit from this first corner, Hell's Corner. So get it nice and tight to that apex. No, not quite tight enough. Can we get in the slipstream? Donardi, we know, is a very consistent driver, reluctant to make mistakes. Johnny Waffle, don't know about him so much, new driver. But we are catching. Donardi going over to the right-hand side of the track. This is going to be the final lap. Donardi just keeping it tight. He may not be quick, but he's in front. So here we go, up for the cutting. Very little he can do through here, unless the driver in front makes a mistake. And it looks like Donardi made a little bit of a mistake. It was a bit wide on the entry, compromised his speed a little bit, but really over the top, over this section here, it's all about just being as quick as you can and just keeping as tight to the car in front as you possibly can. And we're certainly keeping tight. We're getting tighter. Can we do anything as we go over the crest? We're at Skyline. Now, first bit, it's not too bad. It's the second bit. It just falls away with you left-handed. It just drops off a cliff. Oh, we nearly clipped the wall there. Has that cost us? We just needed to be so tight as we come to this Forest Elbow corner. I think, when I get the right shot, that I don't think Johnny Waffle can do anything. So I'm very shortly going to hop down to our leader, who is coming across the finish line. Look how far he's gone. Chicken Paxo, unchallenged really there in the league. DB Kung comes across second place, just coming out of Murray's cross the line. Well done there, DB Kung. Now Donardi, has he held off Johnny Waffle? Yes, he has. They come down. One more set of gear changes as he exits, and Donardi goes across in third. Johnny Waffle fourth. Kept Donardi very honest there to Johnny Waffle. Now Alex Powell having a much better race in this second event. He is up to fifth place and crosses the line. Groot now, he has got the upper hand despite the damage on his Audi over Yorkshire Mika, who I don't think is just behind him actually. Oh, I think that was a lap car in between. So Yorkshire, oh, maybe those two have had it coming together, because Groot and Yorkshire Mika have got damage. So don't quite know what happened there, but they've crossed the line now. Finally coming through is Mike 65 in the Porsche. Crosses the line there in 8th place. Now Balding Wingnut, new driver to us tonight. Didn't have particularly good position in first race, but second race, there he is, 9th place, crossing the line. Great result there for Balding Wingnut. And then Randy Flangepants, he's coming through with a slightly wide line there at Murray's, and he comes through in 10th place. I know he's experimenting some new brake parts on his rig. And now Gris V-Dub, who is Randy Flangepants' teammate, he's coming up to the final corner there. Oh, takes a big chunk of curb, catches it though, and he's across the line. So Waterskin coming down. I think that is actually Chicken Paxo coming round to complete his inlet behind. So Waterskin coming through to complete his race. He's going to come through in 12th. And that is going to be our... No, he's going to pull in the pits, which is possibly going to cause all our system a bit of a crisis, but we won't worry about that for the moment. So that is our race 2 completed. We've got one more race to go, so please, please, please don't go anywhere. I'm just going to pop for a few facility issues, and then I will be back with you for qualifying for race 3, so please don't go anywhere.
Double stint for Bill Andrew at the end of the day, and then bang over to Jamie Wing
So if you're a rookie here and you're starting the race, you've never seen this track in the dark before. Also, if you're coming to us on the international feed for the first time, the 12 hours starts when the Mercedes E63 safety car rules off the race because of the darkness. It makes perfect sense, really. I won't ask you to predict the race result, guys, but what we're going to say, Krelser.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a $1 million question, almost quite literally multi-million when you take into account the value of this field. I'm not sure that lots of predictions for a fast race. The quality at the pointy end of this grid is the best we've ever seen. Qualifying one yesterday, we had 18 cars covered by a second. It was so fiercely competitive. This place will play a role as well. Race control, right on the middle screen, is James Taylor. He's the race director for this race. His mandate this weekend is REM, respect, patience, and moment. As in one moment can change your entire day. So he's been beating that into the driver.
Green light, give it all you can.
It must be said on Friday, varying levels of success, and they've got better and better.
Johnny, the guys were standing on the bridge beyond Icebreak Hill corner there because that's the shoulder coming down towards it. It's also a bit like football. There's things we put in the dark there that we don't really want to talk about.
No, true. And you just wonder whether one or two people might get away with something they couldn't do in full daylight. Let's hope not. We've also had a number of cars crashed early on in the weekend. This year, we've got that system now, and we can go for some clear laps and try and save the problems. Like I said, there's lots of people that give one or two a chance.
Welcome back, race clubbers, as you join us at the last 2 minutes of the third qualifying. Well, it appears only, I was going to say the third of the grid. They suddenly seem to have got their act together and a lot of people putting times in. Sorry, the wife had a nibble since we've been out drinking all day. She made these wonderful homemade cookies. I know this isn't really this professional, but fucking me, there's only a dozen or so of you watching, so if you can't put up with me eating a cookie, well, tough shit, really. So, here we go. So, who we got? We got Denardi on provisional pole. Chicken Paxo just behind. Ricardo Hall up there in third place at the moment. Groot. We got some unusual names there, but people like the Silver, Johnny Waffle, haven't put lap times in yet, so that could be a little bit of a turn up for the books. We've only got 1 minute and 10 seconds of this qualifying session to go. I'd like to thank everybody out there who's requested that I consume about 8 pints of cider before I commentate every week, and that might be an idea next week, because let's be honest, if I get banned, well, it doesn't really matter, does it, because I'm not coming back. So Denardi has called it a day. He's gone into the pits with just 40 seconds to go. Chicken Paxo, who we've got on screen at the moment, he has got a chance to improve. Ricardo Hall, he's called it a day. He's in third place at the moment. Root can still do something. He's out there at the moment. Interestingly, only 9 of the 16 drivers have actually put a time in. So can Chicken Paxo do anything? Oh, and Groot's called it a day, so he's in the pits. Oh, DB Kung's just popped up there into 6th. Banana Man down in 7th. Again, not great qualifying from Banana Man. Waterskin looks like he's going for the finishing line. He makes it 11th place. And Chicken Paxo, there we go. Got pole by 0.186 of a second. Fantastic stuff. So who else have we got out there still? DB Kung. He still must have crossed the line just before the time was out, so possibly he can do something. So, but there's quite a lot down there that haven't got a time in. One of them particularly, Johnny Waffle. He's been up there fighting for a podium all evening, so he's currently down there in 12th. Not a time on the board, needs to keep it between those white lines and not make a mistake. Just needs to get a time on the board. He should be able to get himself up into the top 4 or 5, I think. Just coming down to Murray's, the final left-hander. Oh, and up there, wow, wham bam, straight into third place. Johnny Waffle, under pressure, pulls out a great lap there. De Silva, who was complaining about the track earlier, he's there in 4th, so he's not doing bad at all. So Johnny Waffle, great lap there. Now, who we got? We've got Randy Flangepants. Actually, he's going to be the first one in the McLaren. Got it all a little bit sideways. He scooped it up like an ice cream on Bank Holiday Monday. And he's heading down towards Murray's, the final corner. He's currently showing as 14th. What can he do? I reckon about 8th or 9th. Come on, Randy Flangepants, prove me wrong. He's 11th, prove me wrong. He's 11th. So Yorkshire Micker, he's coming to the line as well. I reckon he should be up top 6 or 7. No, 10th. Shows what little I know, doesn't it? So who's that going for the line at the moment? That's still there. Oh, Rusty GT, he's out of position. Final corner, he's going to be our last driver across the finishing line. And he gets himself up to 11th. So the one who I can see is particularly out of play. Oh, Alex Powell, I think, has left us for the evening. So is Vortex. So those two are out of place. But particularly out of place is Marge. He was up there in the top 4 or 5 in the first race, and he's not showing himself up there at the moment. So he's got some hard work to do. Just remember how this championship works. We got 3 races tonight. Drivers only count the best 2 of 3. So if they make a complete clusterfuck of one of them, it really doesn't matter, because they can sort their life out on the other 2. So we've got some new comments coming in on hopefully the YouTube channel when it catches up. Tom Hacker says, is the last race a night race? God knows. I turned up a bit late to the party, so frantically, not frantic. What's the word I'm looking for? Not frantically. Frankly, I knew it was a fruit word. Because what other fruit word could it have been? Frat? No, that's not a fruit word, is it? No, that's enough. Anyway, oh, Jorgen. Well, DB Kung, the driver, actually knows more about what's going on than I do. So apparently, yes, it is. So, which is always good from the commentator's point of view. So, trying to watch the cars in the dark, I might as well commentate with my eyes shut. So, but hey ho, there we go. I obviously get paid massive amounts for doing this, which is why I'm fairly prepared to put up with this kind of bollocks. So there's your grid, front row. Oh, here we go again. Chicken Paxo and Donardi. Well, that's a bit of a novelty, isn't it? Johnny Waffle punched his way up there in third. Bentley, again, unfavoured car in this third. I'm just going to get a better shot for you, just bear with me. An unfavoured car generally in this third, in this sort of seventh season of Race Club. I'll get my act together. Hang on, I'll give myself a slap. Alright, that's better. So, yeah, the Bentley, unfavoured car generally. To Silva, again, in a McLaren. Up there, says he doesn't like the circuit, but he's got up there. Ricardo, he is there in 5th, and Groot in 6th. So, look at that grid, really tightly packed. We've got just about 45 seconds to go until they get going. Just to give you a little bit of waffle about this track, because I'm sure you want something to fill in before they wander around and get their life in order and start actually racing. This track actually opened back all the way in 1938. Now, on the basis that Australia was a little bit left out of it in that sort of slight sabbatical we had between 1939 and 1945, didn't really get affected too much. Circuit itself is 6.2 kilometres long, and the Conrod Straight is just under 2 kilometres. The lowest to highest point, as already touched on you earlier, is 174 metres. And for those of you that know anything about Australia, apart from the fact that's where we sent all our prisoners, to give you a bit of a geographical layout, we're about 125 miles west of Sydney. We're in the New South Wales part of Australia. Well, why is it New South Wales? That's against Old South. Well, I suppose Old South Wales is like Cardiff and Swansea and that, I suppose. Don't suppose they're particularly happy about being referred to as old, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. The race this track is best known for is the Bathurst 1000, which has generally been held with the V8 Australian supercars, which if you ever watched, is a really exciting form of racing. They did for a few years, I believe, swap it over to the super touring rules, but Aussies being Aussies decided to take it back and have the V8. So I suppose that's what happens when you, well, the only Connolly I know is Billy Connolly. But anyway, that joke lost a bit of momentum there. I've got some other jokes, but they're completely inappropriate, so I probably won't use them tonight. I'll save them for next week. Then I'll make sure I get fully banned from YouTube. So here we go. Cars working their way up over the crest. Does look a much later in the day scenario, so track temperatures will be down. Oh, Alex Powell, he's starting from the pit lane, so I don't know if that's a strategic move or he didn't press the go button quite when he should have done, but he is starting from the pit lane in 16th, so he's going to have a little bit of work to do. Alex Powell's a little bit out of place. I think we might have a few coming through, and quite often, as it occurs with these races, the last one of the nights, particularly if the drivers have had a good result in sort of race 1 and 2. They're going to be a little bit more feisty in race 3 because only the best 2 of 3 count. So if they spin it into the wall and turn it into a ball of steel and plastic, it doesn't really matter. Just to remind you, this is round 8 of a 9-round championship for season 7. We are next week at our season finale, which is a 2-hour endurance race at Laguna Seca. And as anyone who knows Laguna Seca, it features that fabulous corner of the corkscrew where the you turn left and basically the track drops away from you, and it's quite a tricky circuit. It has quite wide runoff, but it also can catch you out quite easily, so drivers will need to be careful, and it'll be great to see you come along and watch us next week, because we would love to see you on board. So, and as ever, please, 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 if you're enjoying what you're watching, click that lovely subscribe button and you'll get notifications of when we're next online. And finally, of course, our championship is sponsored by Lovely Stickers, and they produce decals for steering wheels, all the main producers like CSL, Fanatec, Logitech and so on, and also for the seats on racing rigs. So if you want something a little bit fancy, make your rig stand out and be a little bit different, please, please, please go over to Facebook, search Lovely Stickers, and they will sort you out. So here we go, we're coming up to the final corner of Murray's. Oh blimey, someone else is commenting. Oh, Tom Hacker says he'll be watching next week. Well, you're always welcome to come and commentate as well, Tom. So here we go, we're coming up the start line. We've got Chicken Paxo in the green car, and we've got Donardi in the black car. Looks like this time, as they go green, 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 Donardi's got the better run down to turn 1, and just behind him, it looks like De Silva has got a nice little run on our good friend Chicken Paxo. Oh, and in the background, that looks like Yorkshire Mick are possibly having a little bit of an issue down there. Looks like he's spun round, and we'll have to see who catches up. There is a car there in the background. It does look like we've had a little bit of a breakaway pack at the back, but the majority of cars are around Griffins and heading up through the cutting. So here we go, Donardi, followed by Chicken Paxo, followed by De Silva. Ignore the timings on your left until it sorts its life out. We're waiting for Yorkshire Micker to catch up. Had a little bit of an incident there, he obviously had it coming together with someone. So everyone down to 11th place, all looking remarkably tight at the moment, or 10th place, sorry. All looking remarkably tight at the moment. Alex Powell's still in the pit, so it doesn't look like he's going to be joining us for this final race. So we've got 15 cars out on track for this final 20-minute race of round 8 of season 7 of Race Club. And it looks like the Donardi Chicken Paxo duo are pulling away a little bit at the front here. As we know, both Donardi won race 1, Chicken Paxo won race 2, so it's a race each for them. So it'll be interesting to see how they work it out on this final one. I'm just trying to look down and see if we've got anybody else who's looking a bit close. Chris V Dub, look at this pack here. Chris V Dub, Johnny Waffle and Groot, all very, very tight together as they head into the chase. Chris V Dub having a look both sides. Johnny Waffle there looking to pick the bits up. Johnny Waffle's been up close to the podium all evening. So here he goes. He's Johnny Waffle in the Bentley there, looking like he was trying to go down the outside of the Porsche there. Actually, it looks like Chris V Dub in the Porsche is going to be the one giving Groot a bit of a hard time. So Johnny Waffle coming down the inside of Chris V Dub. The first corner, doesn't get away with it. And they're through and off up mountain straight towards Griffins. So just trying to see who's maybe a little bit behind. Looks like Mike 65 had a bit of an incident somewhere, because he is just coming up to Murray's at the back of the pack. But nobody's heading for the pits, so hopefully nobody's carrying too much damage. So here we go. 1 lap in the bank. So we think this will be around about a 10-lap race to finish off our evening here. So working our way up towards the top of the hill. Looking off the top between these three. Group, Chris V Dub and Johnny Waffle, this pack here. Chris V Dub, they're filling in the sandwich in that golf coloured McLaren. Just looking down the order, see if anybody else is close. It looks like Denardi's holding off Chicken Pazzo by about a second at the moment. Obviously in that second race Denardi had that incident which I think cost him a bit of performance and meant he was struggling to be able to be competitive for the rest of the race. So obviously this time round he's got his way out at the front, and maybe that will be the last we see of Denardi really. And that was Johnny Waffle looking a bit loose all over the grass there, but it may have been connection. And it looks like Chris V Dub's got it all a little bit sideways. He got it all sideways. And he's managed to catch it. But unfortunately, Johnny Waffle was through there, and also Ricardo Hall, he's through as well. So Chris V Dub has dropped there from 5th down to 7th. And he's got sideways again. He's coming under attack from Banana Man. Banana Man coming up the inside to head towards Hale Corner. And it looks like Banana Man may have got the move done there. So a costly few hundred yards there for Chris V Dub. But he's coming back at Banana Man. And just behind them is Rusty GT as well. So Rusty GT getting a go at Chris V Dub there. Poor old Chris V Dub getting a bit punch drunk, I think, over those few corners. But he's trying to hang out Rusty GT around the outside of Griffin's, but unfortunately he can't do it. And now DB Kung is on the Chris V Dub attack. So and that was Mike 65, but I think he's a lap behind. I think he's had a few dramas. Yorkshire Mick is in the pits as well. We saw him having that incident coming out of Hale Corner on turn 1, so unfortunately that has been quite costly. Now that should be a word, shouldn't it? Costly. But what would it mean? Oh, look at that! Chris V Dub absolutely sideways skyline and slams into the wall. And that is going to be really expensive. So the drivers behind him were trying to get round, and he's teleported himself back to the pits there. So the others behind him got away with that. So unfortunate there for Chris V Dub, as Baldwin Wingnut takes a little bit of a scenic route as he comes down through the entry to the S's. So who have we got going on against each other? We've got Banana Man on the case of Ricardo Hall. And not far behind them is Rusty GT as well. Now Banana Man we would expect to be a little bit further up actually, if I'm honest. Ricardo Hall taking a big chunk of curb there, and I think that caused Banana Man to jump on the brakes, and Rusty GT was through there quickly. And if Banana Man's not careful, here comes DB Kung. He's carrying a bit more speed down into Murray's, and have they got away with it? Yes, they have. We all drew a deep breath there, and they managed to get through. But DB Kung is still looking quite racy there behind Banana Man. So actually looking a bit further up, it looks like Groot, when the cameraman catches up, is under a bit of pressure from Johnny Waffle. Looks like our leading pack of Denardi, Chicken Pazzo and De Silva, they are out and gone. They are up the road by nearly 5 seconds from Groot, but Groot is under pressure here from Johnny Waffle, and I think we'll take the brave pill and go on board with Johnny Waffle. As we head up the mountain, a quick look at YouTube, we've got the action. Absolutely no new action at all, so please chip in. Give us some feedback, moan about the commentator, moan about the drivers. I don't care really, but just do what you want. So here we go, over the crest, down in the S's. Circuit starts to drop away, but it's this corner here where it just falls off an absolute cliff. Woof! Down the hill we go. Here we go. Ram on the brakes, Forrestdale. Just get this so correct, and this will get you a position sides are further up the round. up the road. That wall on the exit just comes out the beat. He just wants to give you a quick slap, and that will really, really, really spoil your way all the way down this Conrod Straight. Just didn't get quite good at exit as Group did in front of us. You can see Chicken Paxo actually a little further ahead has actually made a mistake. Let's go back and have a look, because I noticed Chicken Paxo is suddenly in third place. He's dropped by De Silva, so it must have been a bit of a mistake there. And that was going into, he was already behind going into the chase, so he obviously made a mistake a little earlier on, and De Silva slipped through. So De Silva up to second, Chicken Paxo down to third, but they are still quite a long way up the track. So I think at the moment it is still this battle between Johnny Waffle and Groot is the one that is likely to be the most happening one at the moment. So let's jump on board with Johnny Waffle. We're looking forward towards Groot. As I say, that wall on the left just comes out to greet you, just wants to give you a little slap. And then here we go, into the cutting. We're turning and braking all at one time, so tricky. Front just wants to wash out into that Audi wall on the right there. And now we're back on the throttle, heading up the hill. Just trying to clip those walls as we work our way through up towards Skyline. These two tricky left-handers. You want to go flat out, but you sort of almost got to feather it just to not run too wide on the exit. Interesting, I've had a couple of comments from people watching, and Tom Hacker's just given me one already, that it appears Tom Hacker is not taking, sorry, not Tom, it appears Johnny Waffle's not doing full throttle down the straights. We'll all keep an eye on it. I don't think we're getting full he says the brake bar goes up all the way, but
we are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
All the way. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to admit something here. We're between friends, so I can tell you that. I'm on a telly which is quite old, and the problem I've got is I can't see the whole screen. I've done the whole adjustment thing on the PlayStation and all that. I can't quite get the whole screen, so all I can see is a big green line which disappears off the edge of my screen. So it would be interesting feedback that we can give Johnny Waffle afterwards, that maybe he's not getting full throttle, because you can see at home better than what I can see here. Well, if you knew what my eyesight was, you wouldn't really actually question that. But here we go, round Howell Corner, on board with Johnny Waffle, looking at Groot. Have we got it done this time? We're getting a little bit closer. This is only 1.1 kilometres long before we get to Griffin's. But it looks like Groot is getting a little bit nervous. He's on the right, defending for the next right-hander. Now, he's just got to get it tidy around here. Oh, and Groot runs wide on the exit. Can we get a run up the inside as we go towards the cutting? It's a brave move, but we can do it. We're not quite far enough up. So, through the cutting, blast up through the hill. Just over 8.5 minutes of this race remaining. Oh, excuse me, that was a burp and a half. So here we go. There we go, cross Skyline. Oh, great speed there from Johnny Waffle, but there was nowhere to go with it. He just needs to get it right. Coming back down the hill, just needs to be settled. It's just got to be calm, keep it together through these left and right. This is where it's got to be right. Over to that right-hand wall. Hard brake. Now, gas early. Gas. Oh, he's not quite got it right there, I'm afraid. He's just ran out a little bit wide on the exit. Oh, I can pop on board with somebody else and see if there is something else to do. And that's a very good point. Let's see who we can find. I will return to the garage. Who else have we got that's a bit close on connection? Because Rusty GT is catching that battle. So I want to jump right. Oh, Banana Man. Let's go on board with Banana Man. This is like interactive commentary viewer feedback. You don't get this with Formula 1, do you? God, did anybody see the Oscars? Well, that lady that won the Oscar for Best Actress, turns out she's Jean Tot's other half. I was quite impressed because that's the closest Ferrari have got to winning anything in about the last 15 years. Anyway, let's stay on board. Oh, we were going on board with Banana Man, weren't we? Excuse me, sorry. Maybe go on board with Banana Man. There we go. Go on, Tom Hacker, do your stuff. Oh, you might have been able to do it externally anyway. THD TVL79, who I assume is something to do with Waterskin and Bike 65. So Tom is correct, Waffle needs to check his throttle pedal. Well, if he's doing this well with just 95%, I tip my invisible cap to him. So we'll just go back to our trackside cameras and see who's doing what, and I think it's still Johnny Waffle giving... Oh, Johnny Waffle has given Groot a hard time, and we missed it unfortunately, but Johnny Waffle has got his way somewhere over the top of the mountain in front of Groot. So, and they're just coming up to lap, I believe, Yorkshire Mika, who's pulling over, doing exactly the right thing, pulling over slightly too far. I think he's parked up and having a picnic. Oh, look in the background there, that's Rusty GT and Ricardo Hall having a go at each other, I believe. No, it's not, because Ricardo Hall is in the Nissan, which has gone AWOL. Got that one wrong. That's Ricardo. No, who the bloody hell is? Oh, that's Rusty GT getting by. Let's wait till it all crosses over the line. Groot. So unfortunately, Groot has lost fourth to Johnny Waffle, and then he's lost fifth to Rusty GT. So not the best lap there from our great driver Groot. And we're just clicking down to 5 minutes ago, so that's 3/4 of race distance. So we've got about 3 laps to go. Randy Flanchpants unfortunately is in the pits, so hopefully he might just come out and join the fray for the rest of the race. I know he has had some technical issues with his pedals. He's doing some DIY modifications, which has worked and not worked depending on the day of the week and the positioning of the sun. So who else have we got that is going to be doing anything exciting? Well, let's have a look at Ricardo Hall on Groot, because Groot looks like maybe he's a little bit of a cork in the bottle here, because Banana Man, I feel, is definitely out of position, and he... Oh, hello, who was that having a bit of a moment now? I think that was Rusty GT, has had a bit of a crisis as they come over the top at Skyline, and that will move him back down the order. So all these guys, excuse me, are going to move up. Need to wait for them to cross the next timing line to get exactly where everybody is. I think I'm going to need some Alka-Seltzer tonight. So I think we've got 2 laps to go at the end of this one. So we go. Ricardo Hall is looking very racy on the back of Groot there, and it looks like it's gone one way and then the other. Oh, and Ricardo Hall sends it absolutely down the inside of the chase, but he's gone a little bit wide there, and Groot says thank you very much, I'll have that one back. So great racing here all the way down the grid. Now Banana Man is coming up on Ricard. Oh, and Ricard sends it brutally down the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of fender bendering there, and Banana Man's going through the middle of the sandwich there, and the biggest penalty there was for Groot, because he was in the front of this pack. He's now at the back of it, and Banana Man going around the outside of Ricardo Hall at the first corner. So poor old Groot there took a little bit of a tumble down the order, and in the background there I can see Rusty GT coming up to catch this pack. So DB Kung looking for the inside at Griffins. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Ricardo Hall turns in, takes the apex, which he's entitled to do. So I think this is where the action is going to be. We're going to have 1 lap to go at the end of this one. Oh, who was that in the Audi there? I think that was Groot running a little bit wider out. Oh, and there was a bigger incident there in the background. I'm not sure who got it all horribly sideways there. There was Rusty, GT and Groot coming together, so that all looked a little bit painful there. So we'll hop back to this three-way battle for fifth. In fifth place at the moment, we've got Banana Man in the green car. We've got Ricardo Hall in the grey car, and in the blue one we've got DB Kung. So they've got a lap and a half to decide who's going to finish where. I'm just looking further down the order. I don't see anyone else who is going to particularly do anything too dramatic. Donardi's out in front. Silver's about 4.5 seconds behind, another 2.5 seconds back to Chicken Paxo, who dropped down after having that mistake. And then Johnny Waffles a little bit out on his own there. He's fairly safe there in fourth. So let's see what happens with these guys, spreading out a bit as they head down the Conrod Straight. Nobody seems particularly have a speed advantage. Yeah, leader has just started their final lap. So just to remind you, next week we will have our season finale. We will be at Laguna Seca for a 2-hour endurance. I'm hoping to have one, maybe even two people with me in the commentary box. So it's going to be quite an exciting night, that one. So please don't miss it. Do the right thing, click that subscribe button, and you can watch us again next week. The race will kick off as usual with qualifying at 8:30 on a Tuesday night. So let's see what these guys can do. It looks like DB Kung has... Oh, DB Kung's had a bit of a moment there in the background there. So DB Kung has dropped off the back of this little battle. And it looks like Ricardo Hall and Banana Man are the last two in it now for fifth place. And it looks like Banana Man is dropping Ricard just by a little bit. I'm just looking further down the order. Doesn't seem to be anybody there that is particularly going to change position, so I will stick with these two, but I will keep an eye on your leader. And it looks like somebody's had a bit of a moment at the last corner. I think that might be Waterskin. Has had a little bit of a moment at the last corner. Randy Flangspan's, after those issues, he's pulled in the pit, so he's retired earlier on. Yeah, definitely someone trying to recover there from the gravel at Murray's. So hopefully they will get going and finish the race. Time has run out, so I'm just watching to see who is where as they are heading down the Conrod Straight. And it's Chris V Dub actually is out and joins Randy Flangspan. Is the one that's in the pits. I got those two the wrong way around. I apologise for that. But Chris V Dub was actually pulling out, just got in front of Yorkshire Nicker, so they haven't quite given it up yet. So let's hop on with our leader as he comes out of Murray's for the final time. Crosses the line. Easy win there for De Silva, for Donardi. De Silva coming through in second place. Chicken Paxo just behind him in third. And then Johnny Waffle fought his way up to fourth place. He's had a fairly easy cruise second part of the race. And then we've got Banana Man, he's coming through with Ricardo O'Hall just behind him. They kept each other watching brief. DB Kung just couldn't keep up with that little battle there. Rusty GT came through in 8th. Groot seemed to have a little bit of a, got a bit punch drunk I think there, with a little bit of a battle there in the midfield. And then there is a quite a little long way back to Balding Wingnut, who yet again has got a 10th place finish in our third race of the night. Oh, just going a little bit deep there, but keeping it between the walls, which is the important bit. Chris V Dub is still out there as well. Just trying to see who our other runners and riders are. Oh, I think that's our 22. Oh, there's Waterskin, but he's already completed the race. So Balding Wingnut coming down, just whizzing through the chase. Just looking through the comments, yeah, Tom Hacker's been mentioning that Banana Man doesn't appear to be hitting full throttle either. I imagine that's a glitch in the spectator add-on that I'm using. So Balding Wingnut crosses the line there in 10th place, and just still circulating is Chris V Dub, just coming out of the chase down towards the final corner, and he's our last finisher on the road in our final race of the evening. So just remind you that completes round 8 of season 7 of Race Club UK, sponsored by Lovely Stickers. and we will be back with you next week, same time, same place. So please subscribe, and that will be 8:30 on a Tuesday for our season finale at Laguna Seca in America. That will be a 2-hour endurance. Thank you very much for your company. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary, and we look forward to seeing you next week.